The topic that we're discussing is GMOs, which are genetically modified organisms. The debate is that people disagree on whether or not GMOs should be allowed in products, food products that are sold. A lot of things are genetically modified, which just means that that there's something added to it that was not naturally there, and it could be like all sorts of different things. And this is why there are so many different arguments, because like it's just not clear to consumers always what's legally allowed, what's in their products. People just don't always know or understand what a GMO is. A lot of people don't know what a GMO is, so it's a huge debate, and it's been going on for a while now about whether or not they should be allowed. And I'm on the con side of the debate, or I think that they should not be allowed. GMOs are negative things in our food, and if GMOs continue to be added to food, then obesity will rise and humans' health overall will continue to decline, just because we just don't know what's going to happen. The counter argument to this is that people are saying that GMOs can be used for good. This means that it's still putting things into the food that weren't supposed to be there or weren't originally there. It just means that they're good things. So things like vitamins, things like minerals, and then also like the fact that things can be grown out of season in environments they weren't meant to be in. So that's all genetically modified. So a pro would be like, the pro argument is that things can be eaten out of season and you can get your nutrients all year round from these foods. So one reason that I am anti-GMO is that since GMOs started to be introduced in 1996, there have been more chronic illnesses and health problems that just continue to skyrocket. This I found on responsibletechnology.org, and allergies have gone up, different disorders, digestive problems, all negative things that have happened since GMOs have been introduced. A second thing that I just think, this is from the non-GMOproject.org. It's a website that is explaining GMOs and saying why they are not safe. One thing that is just very unclear is that in reality we just don't know what the long-term repercussions are going to be. So it's just very unclear, and there's no way to know how they're going to affect the future generations and the future of people and their health, because there's no long-term studies that are credible, and that just isn't really safe. And in the US, GMOs aren't labeled, so sometimes we don't even know that we're eating GMOs or that they're in our foods. And that is all from non-GMOproject.org. Finally, this is from greenamerica.org, is that it's manipulating an organism's DNA. So basically, it's just not natural to take an organism and completely change it and manipulate it, and things should be eaten the way they were intended, and that is the healthiest way. And that messing with the DNA, it really is. In conclusion, GMOs should not be added to products these days. They are detrimental to health, and there's just not enough research. I propose that a plan of action would be to either have a small research group that test it on animals, or have a small research group that agrees to the possibility of harm. if that's possible, and test GMOs long term before making them popular to the general public. I think that's extremely detrimental without really knowing the full repercussions. Basically, it's just really important to know what you're putting into your body, and that's why non-GMO products are getting more and more popular, because people want to know. People want to know what's in their food and that it's all natural and that it's not all this genetically modified stuff that we just don't know how it's going to react. Thanks.